Alright, hello. Oh, full screen boy. Alright, hello guys, welcome to my review of Alien Earth, episode 5. So this is just so much better, this episode, compared to the previous two episodes, episode 3 and 4, where it's just more building stuff instead of actually being fun to watch. But this episode just feels like, I guess, what I was asking for. It's kinda set before like the first episode, even though some of the events are like, you could say it before this episode, but yeah. You kind of just basically get to see how this whole ship just ends up turning into chaos. The human characters end up getting killed in the ship because we kind of see them all wake up from the cryo sleep in the first episode. In this episode, we kind of see how it actually got to the point where the aliens actually escaped, and you know the Marines. Well, the squad tried to like the Colonel Marines, they tried to like take care of the aliens, and then that just ended up going into chaos too in episode 2. So we just kind of see how that all happens from this episode, I guess. Yeah, and we kind of get to see why Moa wants the aliens and the power sites so bad. But it seems like Bronsky, the captain, ends up getting taken by the alien. It seems like the person who takes charge, she had a relationship with him too, which she was not really supposed to have relationships on the ship. When he wakes up, he's just seeing the ship in chaos. So he's just asking what's going on and what all the problems are. Like, it seems like the ship's a bit damaged too, so he's like, I guess this guy here is trying to fix it. Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of chaos when he wakes up from cryo sleep. And he's just trying to see how he can handle it, and you know, these are all the things that end up, you know, escaping. Well, I think a lot of them do, but I don't think all of them do, but yeah. It just seems like chaos, but then, you know, he kind of knows that she had a relationship with Bronsky, so he's just basically saying that there should have been more focus on, I guess, the job than having a relationship, because, you know, you kind of see what ends up happening anyway, so that's kind of why. And then you got this weirdo kind of, I guess, to put Bronsky into like cryo sleep, even though that's a dumb idea when he's got a face hugger on him, and to find out that it can literally melt through this stuff anyway with acid and stuff, because its blood's acid, so they know all that, but they still take the risk. And you just got this weird Asian guy always watching this girl, who knows what he was doing when no one's around, but yeah. Because yeah, it's just a matter of time before this cargo just ends up, you know, escaping, and Mo's job is to make sure the cargo gets back, I guess. And we find out he actually has a daughter and stuff, yeah. And it's just kind of seeing all the things that everyone was missing while they was doing their own thing, I guess. Yeah. All the things that were going on. And it seems like this guy here, he seems pretty immature. He's kind of talking with this guy, so they're kind of like friends, I guess. And they have some kind of friendship, but not really, because the only thing Mo really cares about is, you know, the job, I guess. Like basically they're basically expendable to him. Like, he doesn't really care if they all die, which obviously they all do. If because it basically shows in episode 1 like they all die anyway. But since it didn't fully show us, I was thinking like it's some people make it out. But since we actually got to get this episode to fully show what happened to the rest of the survivors, which probably implied that they all died anyway. I mean, we know she died anyway because they kind of show it in episode 1. Like, Mo just lets her die. And these guys, let's just say when they're trying to work out things with the facehugger and stuff, it just ends up going badly. Yeah. She ends up, well, you can't really say it's her fault. Basically, the bug she ends up feeding, it ends up getting loose, and it kind of shows how smart these flipping parasites are, man. Like, they're able to literally open this by themselves and escape. But luckily, someone comes in to stop it, I guess, because that would have started the chaos. I just love how there was the kind of like teasing that, you know, how it's gonna end up having like doing some kind of foreshadowing. But then you're thinking like, oh, it's gonna happen here, but nope. But obviously that we know they're gonna get free eventually. But you know, one of the parasites still puts something in her water bottle, which ends up spreading to someone else. And the way how they focus on that water bottle, and when she puts it on the table, like you're just thinking, oh my god, who's gonna drink it? Is she gonna drink it? Is someone else gonna drink it? And then she's just trying to have a speech about I guess their plan on the ship, with all the things that's been happening. But it doesn't seem like people are listening that much. And then I guess the immature one ends up drinking it, I guess, because man, they focus on it so much like it's a Breaking Bad episode or something. Yeah. PA just ends up choking on his food and he ends up drinking it, and he ends up affecting him later on. Yeah. They end up having a little talk because I guess there's basically a traitor in the ship, which the captain says. So they're just trying to find out who the traitor is. Yeah. Which we end up finding out anyway. But yeah, this guy ends up flipping choking blood. And it's just obvious his fate's sealed. He's not surviving. Yeah. And then, you know, the eyeball basically ends up escaping. It breaks out. This guy gets killed by a xenomorph, so I'll just say that. He's kind of a weirdo anyway, so obviously didn't care about his death. And we kind of know they all die really anyway. We just didn't really show all of them dying. Moa finds out who the traitor is. Basically this guy, the chief engineer, basically working with this guy, which is basically his rival, because he's trying to get the stuff to another company. So he's just making sure he's able to get the stuff that he needs. Yeah. And they try to like save that immature kid's life, but when they try to open him up, it literally spreads and it sends out some gas that ends up affecting and killing them. So, you know, basically she has to leave him in there, and they're dead. And after that, she doesn't even know what to do. So Mo just takes charge. But once he takes charge, everyone just starts dying anyway. If she was able to like maybe get a grip, maybe more people would have survived. But if that xenomorph running around and stuff, man, they would have to find a good place to hide. Wow, the ship's also landing to Earth too. Like, man. But yeah, he ends up killing the guy and getting some information on why he did what he did. Yeah. This guy ends up dying and parasites go inside of his body. Yeah. She's kind of like the last one alive, and the xenomorph is running after her, which is such a good scene. Yeah. But we kind of know that she's not going to survive. But man, the thing she sees before she goes out. I had that parasite, that eyeball just going inside one of the other crewmates, the older guy. And the xenomorph and flipping the parasite find each other. That was pretty cool. That was like probably the highlight of the episode. And then the scene that we see from the first episode, I think, where he just doesn't let her in, just leaves her to die. Just basically says all the crewmates are dead and he's the last survivor. So I just don't know if he's doing all this for his daughter, or because they give us more information about him, but they still don't really give fully enough. I guess at this point we know he's human, but like a enhanced human, like a cyborg. Yeah. So, cause for the longest time I was thinking like, is he even human? I can't tell, because he does have human qualities, but otherwise, because he'd feel too much like Wendy, because Wendy's supposed to be the unique one. So, yeah. And then he ends up back in this place, and then he goes back out to finish off his mission. Yeah. And yeah, I guess, I don't know if episode 6 is going to be the episode where things turn to chaos, where Wendy is right now with her brother and the other robots. Yeah. And yeah, I guess it would be interesting to see how that goes. If the same thing's going to happen again with slightly like letting the facehugger get to someone, and then all the chaos that could happen for Mo to achieve his goal. And I just wonder if Mo will actually achieve his goal, or Wendy or someone will end up stopping him. But I guess we'll see. Like, maybe all the androids could team up to defeat him or something. That'd be cool. But we just know like things are not going to work out for either of them probably. Maybe it could for like temporarily, but we just know if it's actually in the same timeline as Resurrection. Well, not the same timeline, but you know it's going to be canon to Resurrection. We just know like eventually like the Earth's going to be taken over by the aliens. So yeah. So even if it does work out for either side, eventually over time, you know, it's gonna end up backfiring. Yeah. And yeah, this was a solid episode, way better than the previous two episodes. That was just so slow. I was like, man, if episode 5 was slow as well, I'm just like, oh, you've lost the spot of being the best show this year. You truly have. So Severance would be number one, then Dexter, then I guess what I'd still say Alien Earth. But man, if you're still having slow episodes after like 4 episodes in a row, I would even have to put flipping Wednesday above you. Which, oh my god, that's just from how good you started, like being number one, to then just Wednesday beating you. Like goddamn. But this episode kind of picked things back up, so hopefully episode 6 kind of continues that story that they teased in episode 3 with I guess the android helping Moa and flipping probably going to cause chaos. So I'm looking forward to if it's going to be in episode 6 that happens. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed this episode like I did, because this was a huge improvement from the previous one. This is an episode I could literally watch again, like easily, like multiple times. It's that good. Like the first 2 episodes. What would I rate? I think I'd say 10 out of 10. Yeah, because man, this was really good. It felt like a short alien film, to be honest. Because it had the elements of the first episode, but just at a bigger scale. We actually got to fully see how, things went. We just only saw like a little bit of it. They kind of skipped a lot to the point where the ship already crashed. Where we actually get to fully see how it happened. A bit of Moel's goals and him having a family and stuff. So yeah, that's all I got to say. And peace.